Shalom. I would like to give all praises, double honor, and glorification to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach, Umarak Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua. Right, so this video is going to be a quick exhortation on falling short. Right, so let's dive straight into this quick exhortation. Not going to be a long video at all. This is an exhortation on falling short. You understand this truth. Right, so let's dive into it. We're going to kick it off with 1 Samuel chapter 12. Right. It's the book of 1 Samuel, right, chapter 12, because we fall short in this thing, man, right? Everybody know that. Every brother and sister in this truth know that. You know, it can happen to any of us. Anybody can fall short at any given moment, at any time in this truth, right? But the comeback got to be greater than the fall, you understand, right? The standing up got to be better than the falling, right? So let's bring it out. It's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 12 and verse 19. And all the people said unto Samuel, pray for thy servants unto the Lord thy God, that we die not. For we have added unto all our sins this evil, to ask us a king. Right? So Israel, you know, they knew they, you know, was going off and made mistake after mistake after mistake. And then they even said, look, we know we put icing on the cake by asking for a king as well. So we know we done went off beyond measure. Right? Let's keep reading. Verse 20. Let's see what Samuel said to this people, to Israel. Verse 20, and Samuel said unto the people, fear not, ye have done all this wickedness. So you got Samuel telling them, like, look, you're right. Y'all for sure did great wickedness. That's playing upon tables. I know and y'all know. All right. I'm gonna read that again. It says, ye have done all this wickedness. So you got Samuel that know the nation of Israel and did great wickedness. He know. So how much more the Most High? You know, if Samuel know the Most High know, right? It says, yet turn not aside from following the Lord, but serve the Lord with all your heart, right? So I bring this out just to say, when you fall short in this truth, that is not all means and right to drop your head and give up and say, well, look, I don't want to do this no more. I can't overcome this demon. Why should I keep trying? I just keep messing up, man. And just throw the damn towel in, man. That's not how that worked. Samuel didn't tell the nation of Israel, look, y'all might as well give it up. Yeah, y'all hitting it on the money. Yeah, y'all did a lot of wickedness, icing on the cake by asking for a king. Yeah. If I was y'all, you know, I'd probably give it up to you. You guys might as well just stop serving the Lord. Samuel didn't do that. That's off. That's madness. That's wicked. Right? You don't never exhort a brother to throw in the towel because he messed up. Right? Or she or a sister because she messed up. That's not how it works in this truth. Samuel know that's not how it worked. Now, don't get me wrong. Nobody's justifying wickedness. Nobody giving a slap on the wrist. But the point is to not give up. And Samuel knew that. He told them, he said, well, look, hey, you better, let's read that again. Samuel said this. It says, yet turn not aside from following the Lord, but serve the Lord with all your heart. You understand? So just because you fall short in this truth, that don't mean that's, look, turn aside from serving the Lord. It's not how that works in this truth. The Lord not dealing with brothers and sisters that give up and just quit. Man, I quit. I can't do it. Right? Samuel didn't encourage them to quit. Samuel exhorted the nation of Israel at this time to keep going. You understand? Don't turn from the Lord, but serve him with all your heart, man. That was Samuel's exhortation to us as a people, as a nation back then, to keep going in this thing. Not to fold, not to throw in the towel, right? Not to turn our back on the Most High and say, well, look, Most High, look, these demons win and we lose. No, that was not the exhortation, none whatsoever. So if you falling short or, you know, whatever the case may be, whatever demon you battling and things of that nature, and it's true, and this exhortation is for you, right? Any brother or sister or even child out there. And you keep serving the Lord. Don't you ever turn back, right? You keep going as much as you can day in and day out in this truth. Let's keep going. It says, but serve the Lord with all your heart, and turn ye not aside. For then should ye go after vain things, which cannot profit nor deliver, for they are vain. Right? Hey, that's playing upon tables right there. Right? We have to expound on this right here. You understand? Let's read that again. Let's read verse 21 again. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 12, and verse 21. And turn ye not aside. So Samuel is telling the nation of Israel for the second time, don't turn aside. Yes, y'all committed wickedness. And yes, y'all threw some sprinkles on top by asking for a king. Hey, but nevertheless, hey, don't you turn aside from following the Lord. And he even told you why. Let's see why. And turn ye not aside, for then should ye go after vain things. Because guess what? Once you throw in the towel and say, well, look, I'm turning aside. I ain't got it in me no more. Then you're going to go after vain things, right? Which is the world. Now you're going to go back to smoking weed. You're going to go back to doing all manner of drugs and alcoholic beverages, right? All manner of fornication and whoredom and things of that nature. You're going to go back after vain things, back to the PS5 all day, right? Brothers and sisters know the wickedness that we didn't came from, that the Lord pulled us out of. You're going to go back to all those same things. So you better off, right, getting back up after you fall and trying not to fall as much, but continuing following the Lord rather than to give up and go after vain things. And those vain things is nothing but the word. You're just going to go back to being a nigga, right, or being a nigga woman, right? You're going back to being a thug, right, a gangster, gangbanger, whatever. A pimp, whatever he was doing. Right? Whoremongering, prostitution, whatever folly, man. You're going to go back to it. It's all vain. The word vain means meaningless. If something is vain, it's meaningless. It has no value. Right? So do you want to go back to valueless things because you gave up? That's not the move. That's not the mentality or the mindset. So that's why tonight's exhortation is to keep going if you fall. Right? Don't turn aside from the Lord. Don't drop your head and say, I don't got it in me no more. And man, last time I checked, right, Genesis 32:28 last time I checked, right, and we got power with the Most High, right, and we got power to tread over these demons, man, right, we got power to get the victory and bring that lust under subjection, bring that slothfulness under subjection, bring that idleness under subjection, bring that idolatry under subjection. And last time I thought, all right, and that's what the Lord said. Now, if the Lord said we princes, right, and for the women, princesses that has power with the Most High, I'm going to believe what the Lord said. All right. The Lord told me I got power with him. And last time I checked, hey, the Lord shall not lie. All right. So if he told you got power, you can get the victory, hey, you better damn believe it. Right. You better have some integrity. You better have some dignity to yourself, some honor to yourself, and get back up and dust off the wickedness. Right. Dust off the lust, dust off the idolatry, the softness. You better keep going and don't turn aside from the Lord. Right. Let's keep reading. It says, for then should you go after vain things, which cannot profit nor deliver. Because once you go back to the world, you're definitely not going to gain any profit. And you're definitely not going to get delivered from those demons at all. Right? You'll be trapped in them. And then it's a wrap for you. And that's it. Now you really lost the fight and gave up. Now you're really out of here. Right? It says, for they are vain. So the same things that you're going to turn back to is all vain. There's no profit therein and it can't deliver you. Right? So turning back is the last option. You understand? As a matter of fact, it's not even an option. Right? Scratch that. Turning back and turning aside from the Lord is not an option. It's not an option. Right? Let's go to verse 22. Let's keep reading. For the Lord will not forsake his people for his great name's sake, because it hath pleased the Lord to make you his people. So look, the Lord not even going to forsake us. It's you. The Lord can't fall into the world. All right? It's impossible. All right? It is you that turned your back on him. And you went back and turned aside. The Lord not going to forsake you. Right? He'll never forsake Israel. We just read it. It's plain upon tables. That's you that forsook him and went back. There's no going back, to the Lord. You understand? That's you that go back. You understand? Not the Most High. It says, moreover, as for me, God forbid that I should sin against the Lord in season to pray for you. But I will teach you the good and the right way. Right? And that's exhortation to let me back off Galatians, the 6th chapter, as well, how you supposed to bear the burden with your brother. Right? Samuel said, look, I'm not going to cease to stop praying for y'all. So just because a brother fall in his truth, right? You get on your brother, things of that nature, of course. But you also don't stop praying for him. Just because that brother failed don't mean you count that brother down and out. You keep that brother in your prayers, man. Samuel said it would be a sin. He said, moreover, as for me, God forbid that I should sin against the Lord in ceasing to pray for you. Right? So this is also exhortation for a fellow brother or sister in truth. You got a brother or sister that fall. You pray for them. You don't say, another guy that fell out the truth. Wicked, man. Knew the Lord would bring his wickedness to the light. I just knew it all along. Man, that's folly, man. And that's wicked and off, man. Hey, you pray for that brother. You pray for that sister, that they be strengthened to get back on their feet and keep enduring in this truth. Because Samuel said, look, hey, that'd be a sin if I did stop praying for y'all. God forbid that I should go the hell off and sin by not praying for y'all. And that's not how that works. Your brother, your sister falling in this truth, and you pray for them to be strengthened greatly to overcome that demon. You understand? That's how that works. It says that I should sin against the Lord in season to pray for you. But I will teach you, right, the good and right way. And that's a real brother or sister in this truth. Say, look, I ain't gonna stop praying for you. I know you. Look, you confess your fault. I know you went off, man. Hey, but I'm gonna strengthen you, right? I'm gonna get on you. Hey, cut it out, man. You know, man, cut it out, man. Stop that madness, man. Stop that folly, man. And get on your feet, man. Cut it out, right? I'm gonna get on you, you know, in righteousness, and not to tear you down. You understand, right? But Samuel said, I'm gonna teach you. And so, real brother or real sister in this truth, when you do fall, right, and you got that mighty brother that's gonna back you up, or that mighty sister gonna back you up, and they gonna teach you. They gonna say, look, all right, we're gonna go to this precept right here, and this is what you did wrong, man. Right, and here's another precept that'll strengthen you, so you know how to combat this demon next time. Right, here's exhortation, boom, 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 bam, on how to be better and stronger next time this demon comes to attack you. This is how you handle this. Say that's teaching your brother or your sister the good or right way. Right, that's what Samuel did. He said, look, I'm gonna teach you the good and right way. I'm not gonna stop praying for you. Right, let's keep reading verse 24. It says, only fear the Lord and serve him in truth with all your heart. For consider how great things he have done for you. Right, so we only fear the Lord in this thing, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And you got to serve him with truth in all your heart. Right, and consider the great things, right, that he done did for us. Most High brought you out of the world. Right, you was a total weed head in the world. Now you come in the truth, you don't even think about that anymore. You disgust it at the smell of it. Right, you was a swine eater, right? And you might kind of throw up a little bit. You kind of see some swine, you're like, oh, no, I ain't dealing with that, man. You see somebody else eating swine, it's abomination to you, like, man, what is wrong with Jake, man? Right? What else? Jake used to smoke weed. All right, I think I said it already. Right? What else Jake used to do? A whoremonger, right? Jake out there humping everything he see, man. It's madness. And you come into this thing and you settling down, you got rule of your spirit now. Now you a disciplined man of the Lord. Now you a disciplined woman of the Lord, right? You got yourself in order in this thing now. And that's a great thing that the Lord did for you. You can even let me back up for all our forefathers, right? And our foremothers, all the great acts that the Lord did for us, all the deliverance that he granted us from our enemies, man, right? Now 25, this the bullseye right here. 25 is the bullseye. Let's dive into it. Verse 25. But if ye shall still do wickedly, we got to take it from the top one more time. Because the Lord hitting it home right here, right? We already broke down and get an exhortation if you fall, right? You ought to get back up and keep it pushing this thing and not turn aside from the Lord. But it's always a back end. The Lord said he loves a just balance, Proverbs 11:1. So you got to balance that thing out. Samuel exhorted them greatly, right? But he got to tell them, like, look, because you know some people, no matter how much exhortation you give them, no matter how much you forewarn them or uplift them, it's some people that just, hey, look, they just not going to get right. They just not. It's some people out here, they don't want to stop for real. They don't want to get the victory over that demon. And so this for these type of people right here. Samuel had to make this known. It's verse 25. But if ye shall still do wickedly, ye shall be consumed, both ye and your king. Right? And that's heavy right there. That's heavy right there. Hey, Samuel say, look, now I broke it down to y'all. Told y'all, look, I ain't gonna stop praying for y'all. I done told y'all time and time, don't turn aside from the Lord. Serve him with all your heart, man. Right? But you know what? At the end of the day, if you still really just deep down inside choose to be a wicked woman or a wicked man or a wicked child in the truth, hey, the Lord gonna consume you. All right, it's over with that day. He gonna consume you. You made up your mind and say, well, look, the Lord showed me great mercy and I'm still not gonna stop. And the Lord say, look, hey, I gotta get rid of you now. There's nothing else we can talk about. It's nothing else we can talk about. You and your king. I mean, y'all out of here. Right? That's what he told Israel. Right? And it's the same message for us. If a brother and sister in the truth, you fall, you don't want to get back up, well, now you got to be consumed. Right? Thus saith the Lord. You'll be consumed by the world. And now you stuck back in that dirty place. Now, well, look. It'll be at a great mercy of the Lord if you come back into this truth. Right? That's his call, not mine. But as we know, we don't really see that too often. You don't really see it. 9 out of 10, once a brother sits out of here, they're pretty much out of here. But why? because they still chose to do wickedly. They didn't want to get rid of whatever that spirit was. They didn't want to try to fight against it. If you put forth that effort, the Lord will meet you halfway, because he already see you meeting him halfway. You striving and you trying, right? You ain't just sitting there, oh, let's get me again. Hey, I'm back. You want to mess me up 3 times in one day? Cool. Go ahead. 3 days back to back. Let's just kicking your butt, and you won't even try. You want to pick up the Bible. Bible kind of just sitting there in the corner collecting dust, right? It's like somebody in a boxing match. Usually when boxers, you got one boxer, they wailing on him, kind of got his guard up, you trying to going left and right. You just sitting there like this. Hi. Free targets. It's like an idiot, man. A damn clown. Just getting wailed on, right? By these spirits, man. You ain't fighting back. That's you still choosing to do wickedly, right? And Lord gonna consume you for that. You understand? Right? Let's get another precept. Let's get the book of Hebrews. We're gonna go to the book of Hebrews real quick. Right, chapter 12, verse 1. So when you fall in this truth, man, don't turn aside from the Lord. Take this great counsel that the Lord gave through his servant Samuel, right? Take this great counsel. You understand? And don't ever turn aside from the Lord. Don't be that person that chooses to still do wickedly. Now you got to be consumed, right? Because in this truth, and you're going to mess up. Nah, look, I'm not the Most High. I can't tell you how many times you're going to mess up, right? I can't say, brothers and sisters I can't say, well, look, Hebrew daughter is going to mess up 4 times. And I can't tell you that. Sister Shalom Williams only going to mess up 5 times. No, that's beyond me. All right, it's up to the Most High. But what I can tell you is what the Most High told us in his word. That you can't give up, though. You got to keep fighting. You got to keep trying. You owe that to the Lord. He didn't show great mercy upon you. You owe it to him to keep fighting. The Lord already know you're going to mess up. Right? He already know that. Okay? But it's up to you to fight back whenever you do. You understand? Right? And to keep fighting and to keep getting back up, that takes endurance. You got to have a lot of patience to be able to endure through the various times you may stumble in this truth. That take a lot of patience and endurance, right? Let's get this in the book of Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Right now, that's powerful right there. Hey, Paul said, hey, look, man, we got to lay aside this sin that easily throw us off, man. Because Paul fought with this flesh, man. Duking it out with the flesh, man. Hey, this sin do easily beset us, man. Right? Hey, you might be on fire 2-3 months, and then just out of nowhere, just the wonkiest sin of all sins just kind of get you. It just easily beset us, you got your head down. You like, dang, man, I was doing so good. How did this happen? Me did that, Rip. Like, come on, man. I was just winning, man. I was doing good. Hey, sometimes that sin easily beset us, man. It's that thorn that's in our flesh, right? It be like that sometimes. We just gonna keep it a buck. Hey, it may be every once in a while, man. But do they give you the right to turn aside and turn away from the Lord and go back to vain things that can't deliver you? Hey, man, no. Heck no. And that's folly. I mean, you get back up. What did Paul say? He said this, and let us run with patience the race, because we in a race right now in this truth, man. And believe it or not, we almost at the finish line. All right, we almost there. We almost home, Israel. That's one thing that you got to remember in this truth. And you almost home, right? Like, just a little bit more to go, and we'll be dashing through that finish line, Lord willing, man. But Paul say, hey, look, you got to run with patience, man. It is sin. It's sin. All right, it easily beset us from time to time, but you can't give up though. That's not how that works, right? You got the Olympics people, right? And we running, do the little, I think it's I don't know, 10 meters. It's a short one. They do a sprint, all right. Now a sprint that's a real short way to go, all right. So if you stumble in a sprint, all right, 9 times out of 10 you out of there. All right, you out of there. You're only running a short distance. So if you trip, stumble, I mean, you get back up, you're probably not catching back up. You're going to lose, probably come in last place. But that's the thing. This truth is not a sprint. No. This truth is nowhere near a sprint. It's not a quick dash. All right, hey, this sprint right here is a marathon. All right, this is a marathon. All right, you gonna have to go. You gonna have to lap and lap and lap and lap and lap. All right, you got some laps to go in this truth. It's a marathon. You got a lot of laps before it's said and done. And within all those laps, and you very well may stumble. Very well, right? Hey, but you gotta keep going though. You gotta have patience. You gotta do your stumbling. You get back up, dust it off. You gotta keep going. Just keep going, cause it's a marathon. No need to hurry up and dash your way up out this thing, trying to be the fastest guy in Israel, right? And you just dash your way out the truth. You just burn out. Just a quick, and now you back out of here, right? The Lord not dealing with the sprinters, right? The Lord need those long distance runners, and that can run that very long distance and have patience while they doing it, right? Because you may stumble sometime, right? It says patience, the race that is set before us. So you want to have patience as you try your best to endure in this truth, because this truth is not a dash. It's a marathon, man. Right? You want to have patience when you run a marathon. I never, now I'm not the most sports guy in here. All right, I don't know it all. But as far as I do know, I never seen somebody sprint a marathon. I don't know. Maybe y'all have, and there's some I don't know. Maybe I gotta do some research. But me, I never seen no one sprint a marathon. That's just something I never seen. Right? Now, if I'm wrong, y'all correct me. But I never in my life seen somebody sprint, right? I'm talking Usain Bolt sprint a marathon. Hey, when you run a marathon, you got to have patience. The only person that's going to win a marathon is a person that got that patience and that endurance that can go that long distance. A lot of people tire out. But you got to pace yourself in this truth. Because this truth is a marathon. You got to pace yourself. Right? You can't just sprint. This is not Flash. Right? With this truth, it's not about the fastest man. It's about who going to endure all the way to the end. Like the scriptures say, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. Roughly paraphrase. Right? You got to endure. Right? Let's get another precept. Right? Let me get my apocrypha. All right, go get the book of Sirach. Right, chapter 17 and verse 25. This is a classic precept right here. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 25. It says, we turn unto the Lord and forsake thy sins, right? So let's pause right there real quick. Let's expound on that. The only thing you should be forsaking is these sins. Like Samuel told him, don't turn aside. Don't forsake the Lord. The Lord ain't forsaking you. You don't forsake him. But you want to know what you do forsake? And them foul sins that you're doing, right? Those filthy, abominable sins. That is what you forsake, right? Those wicked ways. That's what we must strive to forsake each and every day. The unholiness, the unrighteousness, these sick, the foul sins, man. That's what we must forsake, right? So when you fall, it is your duty. You are commanded to strive to forsake that sin that keep easily besetting you. It's your duty, right? Verse 25 is read again. Return unto the Lord and forsake thy sins. Make thy prayer before his face and offend less, right? That's the key words right there. Offend less. That is what you do in this truth, right? This is the exhortation tonight for when you fall short and you offend less. You make it your duty. And well, look, I got to go the next 4 months strong. Hey, I can't do that again. We're gonna have to go the next month strong without doing that. Look, this is me speaking. Okay, I'd rather mess up a couple of times than a lot of times, right? Truthfully, we rather not mess up at all, but we gotta deal with reality. You know, we in this flesh, right? We mess up every now and then, but the Lord say offend less. Right? So since we know that's what we got to deal with, I'm pretty sure every brother and sister would like to offend maybe, if I am going to offend once or twice, then 120. All right? We don't want to get that far. Right? We don't want to add sin unto sin. Like we just got all day to be here and repent. And you don't know when the Lord going to kick you out this thing. If he going to kick you out. Which Lord willing, that never has to happen. Lord willing, we can endure to the end. But you don't know. So you must fight day in and day out. And you can't take this thing like a joke, because it ain't a joke. Right? The Lord is nothing to play with. You don't know when his mercy gonna run out for you. You don't know. Everybody don't got the short mercies of David. All right. It's only 144, and after that, it's only 1/3. 2/3 is a lot more than 1/3. So it's a lot that don't got, the short measure date. Okay, that's something to be mindful of. And we are nobody to just stamp ourselves official. 144 right here. No, we can't do that. 1/3 right here. No, we can't do that. We don't know. So we must fight day in and day out, right? And you must endure no matter how many times you fall short, man. Make your prayer before the Lord face and offend less, right? That's a key aspect, when you're falling short in the truth. You want to offend less. You don't really want to be a repeat offender. That's not what you want to do. You want to offend less and less and less as possible in this truth. It says, verse 26, turn again to the Most High and turn away from iniquity, for he will lead thee out of darkness into the light of health, and hate thou abomination vehemently. Right? So you want to return to the Lord, man. Don't ever forsake him. You understand? You want to put that iniquity away, right? So the Lord could bring you into this marvelous light, man, and pull you out of the darkness, man. Pull you out of the wickedness, man. Right? Another piece that just came to my mind. Hold on. Salakia. Let me get this real quick. Right here. Here's what I want. It's a classic right here. It's classic. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 67. Behold, God himself is the judge. Fear him. Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall God lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. So the Lord pretty much gave you the like Jake said in the world, free game. All right, that's what Jake called in the world. He give you free game, right? Jake said that, when the big homies or whatever, drop a little gem of wisdom on them or whatever. The Most High done gave you this righteous free game right here. He told you, hey, look, leave off from your sins, man. Forget about them iniquities, man, and keep it pushing, right? And don't meddle with them no more. No, don't meddle with them no more. Leave them alone, right? Then the Lord gonna lead you forth and deliver you out of all trouble. And what's that chief trouble that's approaching that we need to be delivered from? Jacob's trouble. That's that chief trouble right there, right? And we definitely want the Lord to lead us out of that. You understand? So real quick, if I get this last precept, right? Exhortation on falling short, right? Chief thing you want to do is offend less, right? And also another chief thing you want to do is don't turn aside from the Lord. Keep your head up and keep striving in this truth, man, right? You got to keep going. You want to forsake those sins. You want to forget those iniquities. They throw them behind you, man, and keep it pushing, right? And have patience as well, right? This is not an overnight process. You understand? You got to have patience in this truth. It's still a lot of prophecy that got to come to pass and things of that nature. But nevertheless, we still almost at the finish line of this thing, man, right? And you want to offend less. You understand? Right? Let's get this last precept, man. Let's get the classic. Gotta end it off with the classic. Right? Let's get the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 28. Classic right here. It's the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 28. For as it was your mind to go astray from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which is aka falling short, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. Right? That's plain. That's the classic right there. Right? Hey, so we fall short. Meaning what? Look, we go astray from the Most High, from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Hey, but what we supposed to do? It says being returned. So when you in that process of coming back, right? Cleaning your act up, right? That's what you better do, right? It go for you all, go for me, for every brother and sister out here, man, right? Clean your act up. You come on back now. And it say seek them 10 times more, man, right? And 10 number completion. So you completely turn your butt around, right? And you seek the Most High. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua with everything you got in you, man, right? So that's tonight's exhortation, man. When you fall short in this truth, right? Don't forsake the Lord, man. Don't sit there and let that demon get the victory over you and send you back out of this truth, man, right? And you keep your head up and you keep grinding in this thing, man, right? Have patience, right? And run this marathon to the finish line. You understand? Right? So Lord willing, brothers and sisters, was edified and was exhorted, and Lord willing, our spirits was uplifted to continue fighting in this truth, man. Even if you fall in this thing, man, right? And you don't even always have to fall. You understand? It don't always have to be, a sin. You may just be in low spirits, right? Because sometimes being in low spirit, Jacob, turn away from the Lord. That depression, that stress, you so low in spirit that you feel like you can never be uplifted in spirit, right? Like you would never have joy in this truth again. right? Jake get like that sometimes too. Might not even necessarily be a sin, but nevertheless, hey, you don't let that make you turn away from the Lord, right? And you get back up and fighting this thing, man. So, Lord willing, brothers and sisters, spirits was uplifted, through the spirit and power of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh, right? I would like to give all praises, double honor, and glorification to the Most High Yahweh, by Hashem, Hamashiach, Womalaki Yahweh, right? Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Shalom.